Gideon Wright came fully awake in an instant. He heard the normal creaks and groans of the nearly 70-year-old house his grandparents had purchased as newlyweds. His eyes swept the room. He was alone, just as he was every night. But something was off. The lights. He'd done a complete upgrade of the security system upon inheriting the house. No matter how much he'd tried to convince his Grandma Pearl that hardware store locks were not sufficient security, she'd resisted upgrading her home security, insisting she didn't want to live like she was in prison. He'd installed deadbolt locks on all her doors and snuck 2 security cameras around the perimeter of the house, but otherwise honored her wishes until after Gran had passed away. Now, the house boasted a top-of-the-line security system. The outdoor motion detector lights were set to go on only if someone or something 4 feet or taller broached the perimeter of his property. It could be a deer, but his instincts told him otherwise. He rolled out of bed in one smooth motion and retrieved his gun he kept in his bedside table without making a sound. Not one of the oak floorboards creaked as he made his way down the stairs to the main floor of the house. The security lights in the backyard were still on, but the house alarm hadn't tripped, so the intruder hadn't made it inside the house. Yet. He peered through a rear window, careful to stay to the side and out of the line of sight. Darkness shrouded the rear of the small yard despite the security lights. He made a mental note to add more lights back there as his eyes scanned over the yard. A gust of wind rustled the naked branches of the large maple tree, and he watched as what he'd initially taken to be a shadow broke away from the tree and slunk forward along the edge of the fence. Gideon couldn't imagine who would be dumb enough to break into the home of a security expert and former Marine, but whoever it was, he'd be more than happy to educate them on the error of their ways. He disengaged the house alarm, then stalked through his small living room. He slipped through the sliding glass doors and pressed his back to the side of the house.